I'm going to be getting my first tattoo in less than an hour and I am super excited. This video feels so surreal because I've wanted this specific Marvel Comics tattoo for over 10 years. I can remember graduating high school wanting this tattoo and I never pulled the trigger on it. And today is the day I'm finally gonna be taking you guys with me and getting this thing on my arm. Before I start describing my tattoo, I want to give an essential shout out to my artist that I found. Her name is Melanie, but she goes by Melon Inks on Instagram and TikTok. I'm going to be linking both her Instagram and her TikTok down below in this video, and of course tagging her in all of my videos regarding this tattoo. I'm really excited to be working with her on this tattoo. She's definitely the artist that I felt most confident in picking this. She's a very renowned artist here in Florida. I actually ran into her at a really nerdy pop-up here in town, and I went to her Instagram and I knew right then and there it's time to get this tattoo. Before I start talking about the tattoo itself and my plans for it, I want to add a disclaimer. I'm not going to be recording every single phase and step of getting this tattoo because I want to be respectful to Melanie as she's tattooing something very permanent on my body. I don't want to have a camera in her face and make her nervous, and I also want to be very present since this is my first tattoo. So if you're watching this video hoping that I'm going to be showing you all the different phases of getting your first tattoo, this may not be the right one, but if you want to come with me on this journey just to see a really cool tattoo at the end of the video, then you definitely clicked on the right one. All right, so like I said, I plan on getting the tattoo on my arm, specifically my left forearm, since I've always liked the watch to tattoo combo on people. I kind of want it for myself. If it doesn't work out there, if I don't like the placement, I'm okay with it being on my right arm. This tattoo is going to be referencing Amazing Spider-Man issue number 33. And if you're a comic book aficionado like myself, you know exactly where I'm getting to. This is my favorite moment in Spider-Man history, with him being my favorite superhero. This of course means a lot to me because in issue 33, in order to save himself and Aunt May, and of course save the day, he must overcome his circumstances and triumph over these obstacles and this rubble that he's being crushed under. This moment in comic book history was illustrated in 1965 by Spider-Man co-creator Steve Ditko. If you don't know, this has been referenced in the MCU, in television, and even in the most recent Spider-Man video game for the PS4 and PS5. I'm super excited. I'm so ready for this thing to be on me. So yeah, without further ado, let's go. I actually wasn't nervous at all once I walked in. Everyone had a really dope vibe. The shop is really cool looking, and Melanie actually told me they're going to be moving into an even cooler shop in the next month or two, so I'm really excited to see that. The first thing that we did was go over the design, and it exceeded my expectations and fit perfectly on my left forearm. Look at that. She really liked this John Romita Jr. version of the panel as a reference. So line work wasn't uncomfortable at all. We talked through most of this part of the tattoo. I kind of just zenned out and watched it come to life. Once the line work was done, I'm not gonna lie, I was seriously already in love with it. I felt like I could have walked out of that shop with just the outline. Color is definitely where the burn came in. The pain wasn't unbearable, but I feel like my skin was already tender from the line work, and doing color over it definitely made it hard to zen out on this part. I did try numbing cream, but it didn't work for me personally, so taking a short break in the middle, just a 10-minute break, was a bit more of a help. The finished tattoo came out perfect and took a total of about 6.5 hours, and I couldn't be more in love with it. As you guys could probably tell by my shirt, it is the next day or the next morning. The tattoo took a total of 6.5 hours. I started sitting at 2, didn't finish up until about 8:30, so I didn't have a lot of daylight left to make the second half of this video. But needless to say, the tattoo came out amazing. It came out great. It exceeds my expectations by all accounts. This is probably one of my favorite things I've ever done. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Right now it's wrapped and my body is kind of fighting this foreign substance and pushing the ink out of my body, so it does not look as cool. I'll actually show you guys if you want to see it, and show you out of curiosity. So it doesn't look as clean as it did in the end of finishing it up in the last part of the video, but of course once I take the second skin off and clean it up and keep it moisturized, it's gonna look beautiful and saturated This is just part of the process of it, you know, healing on your body. So yeah, so I'm actually going to be heading to MegaCon today. So of course, if you have a new tattoo, you do not want to expose it to a lot of sunlight. You don't want a lot of things scratching and brushing up against it. So I will be wearing a lightweight jacket to MegaCon. I'll give you guys updates on how it heals on Instagram and maybe TikTok and my stories. So other than that, yeah. Thanks for joining me, guys.